Welcome once again, and this is the time for learning image blur in Adobe Photoshop. Sometime you may have to blur your entire image, or sometime you may have to keep your entire image transparent, but you have to blur any specific area. And we are going to learn these things, how you will blur the entire image or how you will keep the entire image transparent and how you can blur any specific area in that image. And we are going to learn these entire things with some easy steps. So as an example, you can take a look. This is an image from our exercise file, and what you will do if you want to make the entire image blur, you can do that easily. Let me show you. Here is the entire image blur, but if you need to keep the entire image transparent and you have to keep a specific area blur, then what you will do? You can do that easily with some simple steps. Let me show you. You can take a look. We have the entire transparent image and we made this face blur. So we blurred a specific area. So this is the process. So let's take a look how you will make the entire image blur and how you will make a specific area blur in an image in Adobe Photoshop. So let's take a look. Right now we have to open our exercise file, and here is the file menu. Here is the open option, and inside the blur and filters folder you will get this photograph unsplash image. So you just have to select it and then you have to click open. So let me click open. Okay, this is our image and we are going to do two things. First, we will blur the entire things, and secondly, we are going to blur some specific faces from here. And therefore, we have to duplicate the background layer for 2 times. So let's start the process. Let me duplicate the background layer and I want to write all image. Okay, so let me click OK. With all image layer, we will blur the entire image, and let me duplicate the background layer once again, and I want to write face only, and let me click OK. So with the face only layer, I am going to blur the face part only, and let's start the all image layer. Okay. With the all image layer, we are going to blur the entire image, and therefore you just have to click the filter menu, and from there you will get this blur option, and from there you just have to go for Gaussian blur. So let me click Gaussian blur. So this is the pop-up for Gaussian blur, and we want to apply the blur effect for this entire image, and therefore we have to increase the radius pixel. Once you will increase the radius pixel, the blur effect will be applied to the image. So let's increase the radius pixel. You can take a look. A light blur is applied to this image. Okay, we have some hard blur effect in this image. Depends on your need, you can increase or decrease the radius pixel, and if you increase the radius pixel you will have the hard blur effect, and if you decrease the radius pixel you will have the light blur effect. Okay, I want to go for 10 pixel. And let me click OK. So you can take a look. We have the entire image blur right now. Okay, right now we are going to work with the face only layer. To work with face only layer, I want to turn off the all image layer. Okay, now we have the perfect image, and I want to make face blur for this right side lady, for this middle lady, and for the left lady. And therefore we have to use the quick selection tool. So here is the quick selection tool, and using the quick selection tool we have to make a selection for the face because we will only blur the face part. Okay, cool. We have a nice selection for face. Let's make the selection for her also. Okay, and finally let's make a selection for her. Okay, cool. We have three selection, and right now we are going to make blur their face, and rest of the ladies, they will have the transparent face. And to do that, we have to follow the same things. We just have to click the filter menu, and from there you just have to go for blur option, and here is the Gaussian blur. So let me click on this Gaussian blur. Okay, here is the pop-up, and let's increase the radius. And let's increase the radius, and you can take a look. A slight blur effect applied on their face, but we want to make a hard blur effect. Okay, we put 35 pixel of radius, and let me click OK. Okay, you can take a look. We have the blur face effect for these three ladies. And this is the simple way for making any specific area blur. So you just have to make a selection, and then you have to apply the Gaussian blur filter for making a specific area blur. So this is how you will make the entire image blur, and this is how you will make a specific area blur in Adobe Photoshop. So see you in next lesson.